When did you realize your confidential conversation was shared with everyone? 3 weeks into my first deployment in Iraq, I was a private first class, barely 20 years old, trying to act tough like everyone else. My squad leader was Staff Sergeant Garrett Bryce, this calm guy from Montana who seemed completely unfazed by everything. We'd been running patrols every day, IED threats, sniper fire, the constant stress of not knowing if today was the day something bad happened. I was handling it okay on the outside, doing my job, following orders, keeping my mouth shut, but at night, alone in my bunk, I was terrified. Couldn't sleep more than 2 hours at a time, heart racing every time I heard a loud noise. Started having these panic attacks where I couldn't breathe right. After a particularly rough patrol where we'd taken fire for 20 minutes straight, Sergeant Bryce pulled me aside. We walked to the edge of the base perimeter, away from everyone else. "Dawson, you doing alright?" he asked. "You seem off lately." I figured this was my chance to talk to someone. Bryce was solid, trustworthy. We were far enough from the others that nobody could hear us. "Honestly, Sergeant, I'm scared out of my mind," I admitted. "Every patrol, I think I'm gonna die. Can't sleep, can't focus, feel like I'm gonna lose it." My voice cracked a little saying it out loud. First time I'd admitted to anyone how badly I was struggling. Bryce nodded, understanding in his eyes. "That's normal, Dawson. Everyone feels that way at first. Takes time to adapt." "I don't know if I can do this," I continued. "Feel like I'm letting everyone down. Like I'm gonna get someone killed because I'm too scared to think straight." We talked for 50 minutes. I poured everything out. How I'd been throwing up before patrols, how I'd been having nightmares, how I was questioning whether I belonged in the infantry at all. Bryce listened, gave me advice, told me it would get easier. I felt better just saying it all out loud, like a weight lifted off my chest. "Thanks for listening, Sergeant. I know this stays between us." "Of course," he said. "Let's head back." We walked back toward the barracks. I felt lighter, more hopeful. Finally had someone who understood what I was going through. Then I noticed something weird. Guys were staring at me. Not hostile looks, more like sympathetic glances. Specialist Curtis Vaughn, this tough guy from Texas, nodded at me as we passed. Back at the barracks, my bunkmate Nolan Sterling gave me this strange look. "Hey man, that took guts." "What took guts?" "Being honest like that. Most guys wouldn't admit they're struggling." My stomach dropped. "How do you know about that?" Nolan pointed at Sergeant Bryce, who was just realizing something was wrong. He grabbed his radio off his belt, checked the settings, and his face went completely white. The radio had been keyed the entire conversation. Not just keyed, but broadcasting on the main company frequency. Every soldier in our unit, plus command staff, had heard everything I'd said. My private confession about being terrified, having panic attacks, feeling like I couldn't handle deployment. All of it broadcast to 200 people, including our company commander, first sergeant, and every soldier I'd been trying to prove myself to. I wanted to disappear. Felt my face burning red. All my credibility gone. Everyone would think I was weak, unreliable, a liability. Bryce immediately went to our lieutenant to explain, apologize, try to do damage control. I just sat on my bunk, head in my hands, waiting to get sent home in disgrace. But something unexpected happened. Over the next hour, 5 different soldiers came to talk to me. Not to mock me or tell me I was weak. To thank me. Specialist Vaughn admitted he'd been having nightmares too. Hadn't told anyone. Private First Class Dalton Reed said he'd been having the same panic attacks before patrols. Thought something was wrong with him. Even Sergeant Quinn Pierce, this veteran with 2 previous deployments, pulled me aside. "Dawson, I heard your conversation. Want you to know I felt exactly the same way on my first deployment. Couldn't sleep for 3 months." By evening, our lieutenant called a platoon meeting. Expected to get publicly reprimanded for my weakness. Instead, Lieutenant Trevor Ashford addressed everyone. "Today, Private Dawson showed more courage than most of you will ever show." He admitted he was struggling instead of suffering in silence. He continued, "Mental health isn't weakness, it's part of combat. Anyone else dealing with similar issues, my door's open. So is the chaplains. So is the combat stress team." After that meeting, 3 more guys came forward. Admitted they'd been having problems too, were afraid to say anything. Our unit got a visit from the mental health team the next week. They did screenings, started regular check-ins, created support groups, all because my private conversation accidentally went public. The panic attacks didn't magically disappear, but knowing I wasn't alone made them manageable. The other guys struggling, we looked out for each other. Bryce taught us breathing techniques, coping strategies. My deployment ended 6 months later. Came home without any major incidents. The fear never completely went away, but I learned to function with it. Here's the part nobody talks about. 2 years after that deployment, I got a letter from Private First Class Reed, the guy who thanked me for being honest. He wrote that he'd been planning to hurt himself during that deployment, felt completely alone, thought something was fundamentally broken inside him. Hearing my confession made him realize he wasn't the only one struggling. He got help instead, finished his contract, got out, went to college, married now with a kid on the way. "Your accidental broadcast saved my life," he wrote. "I wasn't going to make it through that deployment without hearing someone else admit what I was feeling. That radio malfunction was the most embarrassing moment of my military career. Also turned out to be the most important thing I ever did."